Okay, it says that we are live. It says that we are live. And today is February 28th. February 28th. Let me see if I can find this on my iPad. And we're playing around with some new gadgets today. So we'll see how all this works out. Some new gadgets. Okay, it says. And yes, the audio sounds good. All right, so I have this Stream Deck that I purchased. And that's what the unit looks like. It's got a bunch of buttons on the front, and I can push those buttons and I can activate a different image. So if I go here, that's showing the blog, business story video blog, and this is the dining section on Frederick.com. This is the auto section. This is the Twitter account for Frederick.com. This is the shopping section. This is like schools, private schools, gyms, things like that. Events, we cover a lot of events. So just a bunch of cool things that we can do, but with just the push of a button, the push of a button. And our Wags is in the house, and we're going to try to push the envelope here a little bit on technology and try to do a little more with our live streams. Brianna is researching all this week using OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, which I've played around with for many years, and it's dicey. But nowadays, the computers, I think, have gotten powerful enough that maybe we can run OBS. And with OBS running on the computer, you can do all kinds of cool things. You see a lot of live streams where they do the animated graphics and all kinds of stuff. And usually they're using OBS, but a lot of times the trade-off is the stream quality isn't as sharp, it isn't as good. If you try to stream at a high bit rate with OBS and then you try to do a bunch of other things with your computer at the same time, in the past it's been dicey, but the computers have gotten pretty powerful these days, so we might be able to pull it off. So we're going to experiment with some of that. And Brianna is researching it all this week, so in addition to just being able to bring up images, like I push this button, that's just an image of a screen grab of that section, the automotive section, and that's the dining section. In addition to being able to bring up images with the push of a button like that, we should be able to push a button and roll like a video clip and roll an animation or all kinds of other cool things. So we'll see how all this plays out. Stay tuned, and I might have to get another computer to replace my tried and true old MacBook Pro here, this 2010. I know it won't do it. I tried running OBS on it the other day and running some video clips and all, and it was just very marginal. So, and there are some ways that you can bring Skype calls into OBS also, and some tricky ways that you can do that. So we're going to play around with all of those kinds of things. And 777 says, Luke, looking sharp. This is my oldie but goodie. This is one of my oldest sport coats. It is cashmere. It is just super comfortable. You can tell it's a little dated. These lapels are a little bit wide. But I'll tell you what, this one is so comfortable that I just have to pull it out and wear it from time to time. And on a cool rainy day like today, it's very comfortable. And Kyle says, hey, our Wags, how are you? And so our Wags, what do you think about this pullback in Bitcoin? Are we going to, have we seen the bottom? I think it got down to around 42 or something like that. Have we seen the bottom on this pullback? Let me know your pearls of wisdom, your thoughts. And it looks like we got down to, I don't know, maybe just 43,000. Maybe we didn't even get into the 42s. Maybe that was the low. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Sometimes March is a marginal year for a month for Bitcoin. March has not been traditionally a good one for Bitcoin, but let us know your thoughts. Things are getting real. Things are getting real in 2021. 2021. Now let me see what else I've got on here on this thing. Log, health, dining. Okay, that's all. Well, and the other thing I can do on this is I can switch cameras on this too. If I hit camera 3, see if I hit camera 4, that's the laptop. Camera 2, that's this here. Camera 1 is my main feed. So I can switch cameras here also, in addition to being able to switch them on the main switcher here. So it gives us a lot of flexibility. And the other thing that we're going to do at some point, I'm on the waiting list, is upgrade the Atem Mini Pro to the new Atem Mini Extreme, and that one has twice as many inputs. It has 8 HDMI inputs. This one only has 4, and it also has 2 HDMI outputs, and you can program the second one any way you want. There's a lot of versatility on that. So we're going to see what we can do on all that. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, some folks were posting they want to keep buying these steel Rolexes for a lot of money, and I just suggested that they might want to pull back from that a little bit and think about gold for that kind of money. My gosh, the kind of money they're spending for some of these steel watches, I don't know. I'm a little bit perplexed on the whole thing. Let's see. Kyle says, I remember my guess was we'd be at 55K on 324. 70K would be better, though. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're going to see. I think that it's either going to prove out that these corporations are buying Bitcoin and putting it on their balance sheet, or it's going to prove out that they're not. I mean, we've got a little bit of momentum on that. You know, MicroStrategy's going crazy on it. Of course, Elon Musk bought some. But, you know, it has to be more than just a few. It has to be a bunch of them coming in and saying, okay, we're going to put this on our balance sheet. And then if you start having some countries, some sovereign countries buying it, I think things could get fairly interesting in 2021. If none of those things happen, I think we're still okay. I think it'll just take a lot longer, and we could go sideways for quite a while. But all indications are that the amount of Bitcoin that's being sold every day, purchased every day, is exceeding the amount of Bitcoin that's being produced. So that means that once the original gangsters, once they run out of Bitcoin to sell, right? They're the guys selling, right? The ones that got it at like $1. Once they run out, I think there could be a real supply shock. Now, how long will it take them to run out? It could be years, right? It could be a couple of years. But it'll increasingly become harder and harder to secure Bitcoin, I think. I think that's where we're headed with all this. I've been talking about a supply shock incoming for quite a while, but we'll see. Time will tell the tale. Talked to a friend of mine today, actually yesterday. She sold half of her Bitcoin. She was so happy. Oh, I sold it at 57,000. I was almost at the high. She sold half of her Bitcoin. And I said, well, you know, time will tell the tale as to whether or not that was a good move or not. I said, time will tell the tale. I mean, either Bitcoin is going to succeed, and in which case it will be a lot more valuable than the fiat that she got when she sold half of her Bitcoin at 57,000. So, see, that's the rub. Steve suggested to me the other day that I sell some of my Bitcoin. And my concern is, well, where would I put the money? I really don't want to buy any more real estate. I just don't want the headaches of dealing with more real estate. Stocks, I think, are pretty high valuations. I almost said evaluations. I can't even talk. Pretty high valuations. I don't want to leave it in cash. That definitely is melting away, as Michael Saylor said. So if I'm going to sell the Bitcoin, where would I put the money? Go ahead and let me know in the chat. Where would I put the money that would be a better bet? I can't think of anywhere. I'm not going to buy a bunch of steel Rolexes and park it there. So not really sure where I would put it. So just to run through one more time here, on these buttons, I've got the logo is is button number 1, and those logos that are up in the right-hand corner, Mid-Atlantic TV and Briefit Dance, those are button number 1. If I push button number 2, let me switch over to here. If I push button number 2, it's going to switch to the blog. Okay, that's our Frederick.com blog, and this is the dining section, mom and pop dining. This is the auto section, and this is a dining again, and this is events. This is health, this is home, this is schools, this is shopping, and back to this is the home page of the blog, and then Twitter, right? And then I can do the up button. Here's the Facebook page. People reach 55,000. This is in the last 30 days. And this is one of our sponsors. You saw him the other day. And of course, Mid-Atlantic TV, TV worth watching. And this is, you should sign up and join us. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, and Part 5. So that's a run through all the buttons that I have on here. There's 20 media slots in the media player. And so I got 20 buttons programmed to bring those up. And that's how that works. So this thing, the Stream Deck, will also control macros. So I'm going to have Brianna compose some macros so we can push a button and it does some fancy things. So we'll see how all that works. I was hoping you would tell us a better place to put it. Kyle in the house. Anton's in the house. Just wanted to say hello from Sweden. It's almost midnight here. And, you know, Brianna asked me about the altcoins. Everybody keeps talking about altcoins. They're all trying to get her to buy altcoins, of course. All the folks are pushing their altcoins. And I told her, I said, the problem is that a lot of those have very limited liquidity, and you can get stuck in those things. And some people do make money. Some people get in early, and then they pump them, and then they get out, and they leave everybody else holding the bag. But I think that's high-risk behavior, but I guess some people enjoy it and do well. Most of the traders I know end up getting wrecked, though. I don't know. Maybe our WAGs can give us some advice on that, on trying to trade that kind of stuff. Carl's in the house. There isn't a better option than Bitcoin for the foreseeable future with institutions starting to FOMO. Let's see if that happens. That'll be very interesting to see if the institutions keep buying. It'll be very interesting. I sent an email of an Omega. All right, we will take a look. We shall take a look at a gold Omega. A gold Omega. Omega. Oh, wow. This looks pretty cool. This looks pretty cool, I must say. That is kind of cool. Nice price. 36 mil. That wouldn't be bad for a dress watch. I wonder how thick it is. Nice shape to the lugs. And I'm guessing that's not a deployant. I can't tell by that picture. Well, maybe it is a deployant. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, it almost looks like it is. That's cool. Omega with a deployant clasp for that kind of money? Yeah, it sure is. Wow. Now, see, from that view, I don't like the looks of the case as much. It almost has that look of the way the side of the case is on a Patek 5196. It just doesn't have the flow. It doesn't flow like the 002 I have on my wrist from the side. But not hateful, not hateful. It looks good from this view, from the top view. The lugs look good. So, yeah. I like it. That's a heck of a price, I think. I think that's a good price. Let's see. Anton in the house. let's see, Eduardo says, hey guys, Eduardo update, 41 millimeter Datejust Wimbledon dial is gone now. Okay. What did you get? Did you just sell it outright, or did you do a trade, or you have your eye on something else? Let us know. You're always wheeling and dealing, always making things happen. I don't know. Did you send us a photo of the 41 Wimbledon? I don't think we had a photo. Maybe you can send us a photo so we can pull that up. Oh, and the other thing that I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to, I can already have different media in the media player. So I said there's 21 photo slots. I already created a bunch of photos for these watch shows. These photos I have right now in here, programmed in here, are for Frederick.com, just as I was testing and playing around with that. But I have a bunch of media also saved for a watch-related show, and I can toggle back and forth. Now, I have to do it before I start the show. I have to, it's called a restore. I go back and I restore the settings from the previous setup. So I have one that's saved watch show or whatever I saved it. And so I can open that up. Then I have to go into the software, the companion software that controls the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck, this is controlled by companion software that allows this to interface with the Atem Mini Pro. And so what I need to do is I need to go in and reprogram the buttons for the watch-related show and then export all those settings so that those can be restored. So basically it's a two-step process. I need to restore the settings on the Atem for the new parameters, and then I need to restore the settings on the Stream Deck to match those parameters. And so I can do that for any particular show. Like if I wanted to do a show about a sponsor, right, I could have a bunch of photos in there just about that sponsor and then program these buttons for those photos. Sounds like a lot of work, but it really isn't. It goes pretty quick. It just, the tricky part is having the images in the first place, right? You need to have the photos and the images. Once you have those, you just drag them in to the media player. There's like 20 spots, and then you put them in there. Let me see if I can pull that up and show you. Not that you guys care, but this is the Atem software controller. And if I go to media here, you can see here, these are the spots where I have all these images, right? And all I would do is I would just drag new images into these, and then an O1 would be a certain photo, O2 would be a certain photo, O3 would be a certain photo. And then I go in to the software that controls the Stream Deck and just assign each of these image slots to the appropriate button, right? And so like you can see right now, button number 14 is Frederick Fence, right? And so if I go to this one, that's Frederick Fence, right? So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. What do you think? Let's see. Sent an email with pictures. I sold it, a bit of a profit. I don't blame you. Absolutely, make the money. Eduardo, what platform did you sell your Rumbleton? Facebook groups in Canada. There you go. He gets around. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And how do you protect yourself on that? Do you have them wire the money first, and then once you're sure you've got the money, you send the watch? How do you protect yourself on that? Be good to hear from an expert on this sort of thing. Here is the critter in question. I'm just not a big fan of a smooth bezel on a Jubilee. I just like the white gold fluted bezel with the Jubilee. But it is what it is. It is what it is, and I'll tell you that the smooth bezel really shows scratches. The white gold fluted bezel does not. It just slowly wears down over time. So, interesting. Okay. Let's see. Yes, wire first, but I sold it to a big fish, so I sent it first without payment. He'll pay after it arrives. Whoa, okay. Wow, that's a trusting... Eduardo's trusting somebody. I like to hear that people can trust people sometimes. That's good. There are people that I would trust. Like, for example, I would trust Steve. I would send him something and then, let him send payment later or something. He's trustworthy. It's good to have people that are trustworthy. So, yeah. Let me think. What else? Something else I was going to tell you guys, but now I can't remember what the heck it was. Oh, Lance sent in some watches. Okay. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Lance sent in. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Well, this is nice. Well, yeah, I kind of like that's clean looking. I like that color dial. I prefer not having the date personally, but that's a heck of a buy. It's not a bad price at all. Not bad at all, I say. Let's see what size it is. As you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of steel and gold, but in a pinch, it'll work. Nice looking unit. Nice looking unit. Let's see what the size is. Of course, it's going to be bulletproof reliable, being a 9F derivative movement. Oh, it says it's 40 by 34. Wait, 40 long, so 34 millimeters across. See, they're trying to get tricky there. So it's a 34 mil watch. So yeah, it's a pretty small watch. I think that would be more appropriate for a lady. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think that's more appropriate for the lovely ladies. The lovely ladies for 34 mil. 34 mil. I like at least a 35 for the guys. That's just me. That's just the way I roll. Let's see what else we got here. Now this one is a little bit homely looking. This one could almost be put into the ugly watch category. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of the overall look of that piece. And the funky looking 12 and 6 and the funky bezel, not to mention the fact that it's already scratched up. No, I absolutely not. I would absolutely pass on this one. I would pass on the ugly Grand Seiko. The ugly Grand Seiko would be a no-fly zone here. No-fly zone here. Okay. Hey, Craig, what do you think of Hawaii? Could you live there indefinitely? Never been, but I've heard it's kind of breezy and windy a lot. I'm not a big fan of that. In the winter time, I have to tell you, Sarasota, Florida in the winter is ideal. There's a light breeze, usually, most days. It's usually, in the wintertime there, it's usually anywhere from a high of in the 60s to the mid-70s, maybe touching up to 80 sometimes. Just ideal weather from about November until April. Now, late March, the second half of March, it gets hotter. It'll be in the mid-80s and things like that. It'll start getting hotter, right? In the middle, the early part of November to the middle part of November, it'll be a little bit hot, right? But not unbearable. It'll still be very comfortable. So anywhere from November to April, it's virtually impossible to beat Sarasota, Florida. Now, other times of the year, you're going to have to go somewhere, so maybe you go to Hawaii for a month or two. You go to some other places, right? But I haven't been there, so I can't really comment. I also heard that it rains often, like thunder showers in the afternoon or something like that. I don't know if that's true, and I don't know if that varies depending on the time of the year. The beautiful thing about Sarasota in the wintertime is it literally does not rain. And if it does rain, it rains in the middle of the night. It's like amazing. It's amazing, folks. It's hard to beat. It really is. Let's see. I think the government is better in Florida as well. Oh, I'm sure that would be the case. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Florida. Florida's still somewhat free. So there's some freedom there. There's some freedom left. Imagine a state that is still somewhat free in the land of the free. So, I'm trying to think what else. There was something else I was going to talk about, and now I can't think of it. Somebody said they just, what did they say? What comment did they make? I shared the Grand Seiko, and they said they made some comment on the 002, and I said, well, you just must not have seen one in person. And I think there's a problem in the watch community with a lot of people judging watches by photos on the internet and on photos on Facebook groups and things like that. I really think some of these watches you have to go and see them in person. You have to see, touch, and feel some of these watches, and I think you have to try them on wrist. Because somebody was making a comment the other day about the sub. Oh, it was Tim. Did you see his Versus video where he did, what was it? No, it was the GMT Master. It was the Pepsi, right? It was a Pepsi against a GMT Master, a GMT Grand Seiko. And it was amazing. At the end, he picked the Grand Seiko as the one that he would take. And he gave all the pros and cons of both. But it was pretty interesting, his rationale, and he gave the nod to the Grand Seiko. Of course, he's probably just an evil genius, because the reason he probably did that is they actually have the Grand Seiko in stock at his employer's store. And, of course, they don't have any Pepsis, right? And if they get a Pepsi, they can sell it 15 times over, so they don't. I mean, my gosh, of course he's going to say buy the Grand Seiko, right? And come on by the store here and pick it up. Yeah. So maybe he was being an evil genius. But I think Tim might be honest on his opinions and all. What do you guys think? Do you guys think he's a salesman and he's just kind of pushing the watch? Or do you think he's giving his honest opinions when he does those verses things? And when he does the other shows and shows other watches and so forth. You think he's being a salesman, or do you think he's being straight up a watch guy and just saying it the way he sees it? Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. Let's see. Kevin says, was back down in Florida, East Coast, never wore a mask, and ate in restaurants for every meal. When was this? Do tell. Do tell. We like to get reports from the field. We like to get reports from the field. And if Kyle is still hanging around, let us know what's going on in California. Is everybody wearing masks? Are things shut down? What's it like? Are you in California? Or have you made the journey to Texas? Have you made the pilgrimage to Texas? Let us know. I think you should go to Florida. I think you should pick Florida. Specifically Sarasota is what I would do. Oh boy. It's what I did. It's not only what I would do, it's what I did. Let's see. I think he is a really good salesman, but he could be telling the truth. Yeah, you can be both. I mean, you can be a good salesman and be telling the truth. It's doable. You just have to be selling a product that you really believe in that's really first rate. Like this 002. If I said that the 002 is the most stunning dress watch you can buy, period, full stop, at any price, I would be telling the truth. I would be telling the truth. It is. You can't beat it. We looked. We tried to find something to beat it. We looked at Vacheron. We looked at a bunch of watches. Remember we did the video? It's here on the channel. We compared them side by side. I tried my best to find a legit competitor to this watch, and I couldn't find it at any price. And so, yeah, you can be honest and straightforward and still be, in effect, selling the item, right? So, and Steve did sell the other 002 that he had. So, yeah, and he sold it to somebody on the internet. So maybe somebody saw one of our shows and he bought it. That's possible. Let's see. Buserve says, everyone wears masks in California. If you don't wear it, an angry mob comes after you. Wednesday of last week to yesterday was in the Jupiter area. Okay, cool. Okay, so are they doing the double masking thing now in California? I heard that's what the hipsters are doing these days. They're doing the double masking. By the way, a report came out about all the masks that people have been wearing, and most of them are made in China, by the way. And a report came out that most of them don't work very well at all. It's a total scam. There's only a few masks that they tested that had any real effect at all. Most of them were just total garbage. So, and that's where they end up, in the garbage. So there's that. Let's see. I think Tim gives his honest opinion in reviews, but purposely excludes criticism. Well, I mean, he made a point of saying that the Grand Seiko was thicker, for example. I mean, that could be a criticism. I mean, he will point out things that aren't really the way they should be. And he pointed out the slab sides on the Pepsi and how it's not quite as comfortable on wrist and things like that. So he'll give the pros and cons, I think, a little bit. Bill Woods in the house. My three Grand Seikos agree with Craig's assessment. There you go. Kyle's in the house. Still in California at the moment. People are wearing them everywhere. It is so tough to exist here. I don't wear one anywhere except when I need to go grocery shopping. Kevin, are you still thinking about Florida? Kyle says double masks. What a joke. People are doing it. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. I really am not. I mean, yeah. I mean, if I just wanted to laugh, I could make it up, right? I could say double masks, right? But I didn't make it up. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. So, and I see these people, they're all changing their like profile pics with masks and all this stuff. And oh my gosh, give me a break. And some of them are saying that we should wear the masks forever. Oh boy. Yeah, there you go. Kyle says, Craig, how is the water for swimming on the Gulf side? Is the Gulf really better than any area on the east coast of Florida? The waves aren't going to be as tall as if you want to do some surfing, so you're not going to get the big waves. I don't know if it's any warmer. It may be because the water is shallower for a longer period of time, I believe. So maybe it can warm a little more from the sun, and maybe it would be a little bit warmer. But in the wintertime, it's not. It's pretty cool, right? You better like a cold swim in the wintertime if you're going to go in the surf. Wading in it is fine, is one thing, but actually swimming in it, it's a little bit on the cool side during the winter on the West Coast, and I'm sure the same thing on the East Coast. But I'll tell you, the beach, Siesta Beach, is much more beautiful than any beach that's on the East Coast. You don't have that white, powdery sand. It's like talcum powder that you have at Siesta Beach. You don't have that on the beaches on the East Coast. Bill Woods in the house. Craig, Breitling or IWC? Oh, geez. I probably would not buy either. I'd probably buy a used Grand Seiko. What's your budget? How much are you looking to spend? Tell me how much you're looking to spend, and then I'll make a recommendation, Bill. I will do that for you. Kyle's in the house. Yeah, you have to wear them in stores. I just don't go to any stores other than grocery stores. Yeah, I have to wear it when I go to Costco. I wear it. I do. I put it on. I do. I have to admit, I do. Lance is in the house. Craig, do you ever go golfing in Sarasota? No, but there are a bunch of golf courses, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful, Lance. You will love it. You will love it. Absolutely, you'll love it. Absolutely, I think you'll love it. There's a great golf course where I have my house, but I'm not a golfer. I play tennis, so there you go. Kevin's in the house. Yes, Kyle, headed back in April, meeting with a real estate broker. Okay. All right, I say yes. Please tell me you're going to look in the Sarasota area, Kevin. Please tell me. Kyle's in the house. I need to take a trip to Florida soon. I haven't been since 2014. Yes, check out Sarasota. And I would go soon while the weather's still nice. I'd go like now. Like now. Nice, Kevin. What part are you zeroing in on? Okay. This is the tail end of the really good weather. And if you go there, go to the skiaries. They do a free water skiing show every Sunday afternoon, I think at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think they're still doing it even with COVID. Anyway, check them out, the skiaries. Skiaries. Water skiing show, yes. Busurf says, Craig, I talk with young people. They believe in the mask. Lots of people are just lost. Oh my gosh, can you imagine these people? Bill Woods, St. Petersburg Beach voted best beach. Well, I think that Siesta is Trump's St. Petersburg. So yeah, I'll put it this way: there's different awards that they're given out and so on. I think Siesta Beach is celebrated as being the best more often than any of the others. I mean, it's just freaking amazing. BU serves in the house. Craig, would you rather have Hillary or Biden in the White House? I don't think it makes any difference. I really don't think it makes any difference, period, who's in the White House, because no matter who's in the White House, they're all spending money like drunken sailors. And the only thing that's going to save us, any of us, in my opinion, is Bitcoin. I think that's it. I think that's our only hope. If Bitcoin fails, we're all doomed. Doom and gloom, folks. Naples worth looking at. Naples is nice, but I think there's more going on in Sarasota. There's more people in various age groups and so on. I think Naples might be a little bit older community, demographics-wise, and there is maybe a little more money per capita there, but I definitely would go for, I looked at both. I would definitely go for Sarasota over Naples for a whole lot of reasons. So research them both. Dive deep, research them both, but I think you're going to come to the same conclusion I did. Carl's in the house. Young people think it's settled science to wear the masks. They believe anything the mainstream media puts out there. Well, yeah, and like I was listening to Bill Gates the other day. My gosh, he turns my stomach. And he was talking about two subjects. He was talking about climate change and Bitcoin. And he couldn't have been more wrong on both. He talks like this whole man-made climate change thing is absolute, and that if we don't do X, Y, and Z, within a certain time period, we're all doomed and all this stuff. These people have been saying all this doom and gloom stuff for decades. They've been saying all this doom and gloom stuff, right? That our end is just around the corner. We got to do this, and this, and we never do this, and this, right? We never do the things they suggest because the things they suggest are impossible, right? And so you would think, because we didn't do the things they suggest, you would think we'd be goners already, right? Because, 20 years ago, they were predicting we had 10 years left, right? That was 20 years ago. We're still here. Nothing has really changed. And they talk about how that the oceans are going to rise. The level of the ocean is going to rise dramatically and all this stuff. We just were talking about Siesta Beach. It's a very gradual grade down to the Gulf of Mexico. Very gradual. If the water raised like 2 or 3 feet, that whole area would be underwater, right? And they were predicting that when I bought my house 20 years ago down there. They were predicting that it was going to be underwater within like 10 years, right? Here we are 20 years later, and it hasn't changed 1 inch. It's the same exact beach I've been going to for years. I haven't been there for a couple of years now, but the last time I was there, it hadn't changed a bit. So their predictions have been so wrong every single time they've been wrong. Why should we believe that they're right now? Please, somebody explain to me. But they act like it's absolute. There's no doubt that these things are happening. All these terrible things are happening, right? There's no doubt. Well, where and when? When are they going to happen? And of course, any bad weather happens anywhere, and it's because of, quote, global climate change. They don't use global warming anymore. They say climate change, right? And how arrogant can somebody be to think that they can control the climate, to think that they can influence the climate, and to think that they can influence people all around the world to not burn things for heat, right? What are the people supposed to do? Freeze to death? What are developing countries supposed to do? Not grow their economy? Not start manufacturing things? Not compete with the rest of the world? Is that what they're supposed to do? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, folks. Am I out in left field on all this? What do you guys think? Crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Usurp says both of them are terrible. Let's see. I visited the Grand Seiko Boutique in Miami. I've always wanted the winner, but looking at it in person, the bezel really turned me off. Okay. Bill Woods, when I lived in Florida, we used to say old people live in Sarasota and their parents live in St. Petersburg. Yeah, but there's a lot of young people have moved into the Sarasota area. A lot of them. Bill Woods is in the house. When I lived in Florida, we used to say old people live in... Okay, I just read that. See how old I am? Not a fan, Kevin. Okay. View serves. Back when I was a kid, we all wanted to grow up to be Playboy photographers. Now the kids want to be social justice activists. Shake my head. I hear you. Buserv says, according to AOC, we've got like 9 years left before the world ends. Yeah. Yeah, see, the smart ones now, though, are starting to predict things that are going to happen 50 years from now so that they won't get caught in a bad prediction, right? The smart ones have learned their lesson, right? So now they're saying that, in 50 years, because they figure nobody will be around to call them out on it. The lovely Lady Brianna's in the house. She says, hello, all. And Carl says, masks helped perpetuate the lie. They helped make a mountain out of a molehill. It was all to remove Trump. Now they need to find a way out of their lies to help the economy. I don't think they care. I think they want to maintain control. I think they want to maintain absolute control. And so, yeah, I think if they can keep the masks thing going as long as possible, they'll do it. Absolutely, they'll do it. They want to control people. Yes, that's what they do. Robert's in the house. Hey, Craig, do you have experience with Alden boots? No, I don't, but I'm a fan of Alden. I just would rather have some boots made by Edward Green, maybe, for example. I think they're really cool. There are just some other alternatives I would go with. If I really wanted boots to wear as boots, I would just get Lucchese's. I've got a couple of pairs of really nice Lucchese, cowboy boots, right? And then if I wanted a heavy-duty hiking boot, Limmer. I used to pronounce them Limer, but they're really Limmer. Yeah, I love those. I've got a pair of those. So let's see. Let's see if I can pull up some boots. Let's see if I can pull up some boots. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Boots. 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 We're talking boots here, folks. Boots. Let's do this. Let's look at the quality footwear set. Let's look at the quality footwear set because we can show some boots and other stuff too all at the same time. That's what we can do right here on the live on the show. These are some very rare Timberland moccasins that I bought, new old stock. See that? Made in USA. That was when Timberland was building their reputation. And those are slippers that I wear that are fantastic, made in the USA. Brianna did a review on those. Town View Moccasin Company, I believe is the name of the company. And those are my limmer boots. Hiking here up on the mountains here, right near the place here. Hiking. And those were not made in USA, so we'll skip those. And those are some Nakona boots that were sea turtle, very, very rare. But they didn't fit me as well as the Lucchese's, so I sold those. That's my Lucchese's. And those are Cayman crocodile and buffalo uppers. And those are the other boots again, sea turtle. And those are the Cayman again with buffalo uppers. Gucci's. Sold them. I just wasn't wearing them, but I should have kept them really, but I ended up selling those. And same boots again, keep going. Those are some nice Chukka boots that are made in Maine collection, Sperry. Yeah, and those are the limbers again. And those are some Chukkas that were made by, they were made in Maine as well. I forget the company, but you can find videos of all these. And those are Russell Moccasin Company. Talk about comfortable boots for traveling and whatever. Russell Moccasin Company. So those are some more Sperry, Made in USA collection. Those are some Allen Edmonds. Those were made up in Maine as well. They don't do that anymore. Very rarely do they do that. Those were made in Maine. Those were a discontinued model by Ralph Lauren that were made in Maine. Bought several pairs of those, new old stock. Made in Maine collection, Sperry. Anyway, you get the idea. Topsider, made in Maine collection. Very rare. Bought those brand new old stock in the box. Okay, that's how we do it on this channel. We find the good stuff. We don't buy the junk. Edward Green, though, check those out. Check out their boots if you want something really nice. They're going to be a little pricey, a little bit higher price than Alden's. But, man, does he make some gorgeous boots. Let me find a pair. Let's go back to the 231. I'm going to find some Edward Green so I can show you a picture. Because these are insane. Edward Green. England. They're made in England. They're made by the Englanders. The Englanders. They make the Edward Green. There's a pair. On, get rid of this silly thing. There's a pair of Edward Green boots. And they make all different styles, but that gets you the idea. That gets you an idea. Nice. Yeah, Edward Green. Okay, that's the way to go. Going to be more money, but it's the way to go, in my opinion. Let's see. Trump is live, yeah. Let's see. Okay. I got to catch up on the comments here. I'm listening to Trump, but just want to say hello. Okay. I can't believe that. Yeah, I'll watch Trump later on. I'll watch the replay. Al Gore was almost president. Trump is live now. There you go. Yes, it's CPAC. Yes, he is. He's the keynote, the last speaker, I think. Lance is in the House. It's scary that Democrats now control both the presidency and the Congress. Yeah, but see, with the 50-50 split in the Senate and a couple of those Democrats are a little bit on the conservative side, they're not going to be able to get a lot of their crazy stuff through. So it's going to be okay. We'll be fine. Bill Woods is in the house. Craig, I have 3 Grand Seikos. Give me a recommendation for something else in the 5 to 7K range. Hey, settle down on 2 really nice watches, Bill, and wear them. That would be my recommendation. Have a nice, really nice 2-watch rotation and wear them and enjoy them, and don't feed into this just piling up watches for no real reason. I wouldn't feed into all that. Kevin's in the house. Craig sent an email of the GS winner. Your thoughts on the bezel? I'll take a look. Craig sent 2 stunning Omegas. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look and see what we got. Let's see here. And then I got to go here pretty soon. I got some stuff I got to do, and you guys want to listen to the Trumpster anyway. So there we go. There's an Omega. Not bad looking. I think it's pretty cool. These are nice pieces. They just are. Very robust. Great price. Let's see if this is a 36 mil unit. That's what I had. Mine was 36 mils. Yeah, 36.5 mil. Yeah, that'd be a great one. That'd be a great beat-around watch. They got a screw-down crown. They're good ones. I actually liked the quartz model just because it was just a grab-and-go watch. This one's automatic. But nice. Nice either way. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's go back here and see what we got in the inbox. See what else we've got from Lance. And then we'll look at this other one. And then we're going to wrap this puppy up. We're going to wrap it up. Not bad. Lance is coming up with some nice pieces here lately. That's a heck of a price for an 18 karat gold piece. Again, it looks better from the top than from the side, but it still looks nice. It's nice and trim. Nice dress watch. And that is a conventional clasp, but that's okay for that kind of money. I like it. Let's see what size it is. Does it say? I don't see the size. Oh, here we go. 35 mil. Not bad. 9 mil thickness. That would work. That would absolutely work for that kind of money. I think so. Yeah. Somebody doesn't have a nice dress watch? Why not? Oh, I wasn't showing it. Jeez, what an idiot. I wasn't showing it. Okay, let's go through this again. Let's go through it again. We got to go through it again because I wasn't showing it. I had the 231 on the screen. But yeah. Yeah, I think so. I like it. Nice and trim. 18 karat gold. What's not to like? What's not to like? Okay, we got one more to show. Got one more to show. Bum, 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 bum. We're going to look at the Grand Seiko. $6,300 US dollars. Okay. It's almost bezel-less, right? It almost doesn't have a bezel, sort of. I would have to see it in person, but I have to agree, that case on that watch, the whole way the bracelet meets the case and all that, it looks a little bit every which way. I much prefer some of their other models, I have to say. I have to say, like this one, for example, is absolutely stunning. Stunning. They make some stunning watches, but sometimes they miss-hit. Yeah, I would pass on that one. I think I would pass on that one. I'd go a different direction. Let's see. Liberals have learned to replace objective truth with subjective beliefs. So dangerous. Carl in the house. We can't see it, Craig. Yeah, I can't see anything. Second one. I know. I know. That was my fail. Bill Woods in the house. What watch brands do you like besides Grand Seiko and Rolex? Bill Woods in the house. I like some Omegas, but I would settle on Grand Seiko or Rolex personally. I think that's the way I would go because I like a watch that is robust and that is versatile and that is easy to get serviced. And those watches meet that criteria. I don't want to buy anything exotic. I just don't want something that I've got issues. That's why I wouldn't buy a Ferrari car. I wouldn't buy a Ferrari. I'd buy a Porsche, a little bit easier to service, a little bit more robust, a little bit more reliable. That's where I'm at. Kevin's in the house. Yes, looked very incomplete to me in person. There you go. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. Wrap this puppy up. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been real. It's been fun. And we did it. We did it. We got a show in the can. We got a show in the can on Sunday, February 28th. Please subscribe to the channel.